Oh, yeah, there's something that... Oh, my God. So there's an Elish Norn. This Elish Norn is gonna hose us pretty good. Today on Commander Replay, we ask the question, is Karador a backup plan in its own deck? Find out next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, help support me and save 15% on singles by using the promo code REPLAY at mothershipaTX.com. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange. Welcome back everyone, playing some Karador Ghost Chieftain today, and today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter Nate. And this is his flagship deck, and this thing does not mess around. I've played with and against it a little bit. It is very strong. Take a look at this opener. I was a victim of a bad opener last time, so I'm going to mulligan this one into also not amazing. Last time I didn't go to 6 when I probably should have, and it cost... Looks like we're going to 5. Yeah, it's got to be this one. There's a Hermit Druid. That's a silly card. We'll keep this one. Got to put 2 back. I guess we get rid of the Sidisi, since it's going to be a while before we cast that. Oh, the Golos is back. We'll keep the Strip Mine then. And put back a Forest. Ooh, we won the die roll. We're going first. That's an Altar of Dementia. Those are handy. Play the Wooded Foothills. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Need something with black and green. That's going to be this Bayou. Play a Birds of Paradise. And we'll pass like that. So I just took this one out for a spin, ended up getting comboed out by the Golos. There was also a Tatiova at the table that was very far ahead. Tatiova came in on turn 3, I think. On turn 3, they had like 6 lands. It was pretty wild. Like I said in that one, I didn't mulligan right, so would have had a beautiful 7 if it had a single land. It was full of 1-drops, had a Birds of Paradise, but there was no lands in it, and I just didn't know when that land was going to show up, so... Mulligan into one that was much slower. Didn't nearly do the same thing. Implement of Combustion. Deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Fortunately, does not hit creatures. There's a Rankle. It's a pretty nasty card. Let's play the Strip Mine in case of a wheel, I guess. Play the Hermit Druid. If anyone gets really out of line this game, we can Strip Mine them. See if this Hermit Druid survives. This is a must-shoot on sight type of card. There are some basics in the deck. I don't know exactly how many. Oh yeah, he's got enough basics in the deck, so we're not just going to mill our entire deck, but, you know, it's still really good value. There's a Gate Creeper Vine for opponent. Sakura Tribelder coming in. Ember Smith for opponent. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, pay 1 if you do 1 damage to any target. That's a thing. That's a thing. Kills like half of our deck. Ramonop Excavator is a pretty good card. Let's activate this Hermit Druid and see where things go. We hit Survival of the Fittest, Demonic Tutor, and a land. Yeah, I kind of wanted those. Puts a basic land into our hand, though. It's always good. We'll get the Swamp right here. Work towards this Rankle. Get the Ramonop Excavator in. And we'll pass like that. Opponent gets an Oracle of Moldiah, gets an extra land, and has a Guardian Project on top. Here comes a Quicksmith Genius into play for opponent. Yeah, we can probably do some damage with this Rankle. Ooh, there's the Sidisi coming back. That's a real card. We got some things to think about here. We'll have 5 mana. 5 mana could be a Sidisi, or it could be Rankle plus Hermit Druid. And that would take down either one of these plus an Oracle. That sounds like it's probably a good idea. Yeah, the Rankle's nasty. We'll try to lock it up with that. Suffocate everyone out with it. Play the Bloodstained Mire. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Does he have a scrub land in here? He does not. We'll get a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Activate Hermit Druid. We get a Forest into hand. Oh, we just milled a lot. There's a Karmic Guide in the graveyard, Fleshbag Marauder, Animate Dead. I mean, I guess we could also cast Karador. Maybe we cast Karador. So in the first game that you guys won't see with this deck, I questioned whether Karador actually still does that much in the deck or not. And, you know, based on what I'm seeing right here, maybe. Because the cards have gotten so strong that you can put into this deck that, like, it is very easy for them to outshine the commander, I think. But in this case, we have a Karmic Guide in the graveyard. I'd really like to be able to get it out of the graveyard. So, in that sense, this Karador is perfect. But yeah, it was a question that I raised. You know, is Karador kind of a backup plan in this deck now? But right now, it feels like it's definitely central to what we want to be doing. So, Magus coming in for opponent. Yep. By the way, we'll take a look at our commander. Karador, 8 mana for a 3/4, costs 1 less for each creature card in your graveyard. During each of your turns, you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard. It's been the quintessential Reanimator deck for a very long time, and it's very good at it. This deck can be very fast, like, nearly see EDH levels if you jam it full of fast mana and really focus on the combos. Yeah, it can be a very fast combo deck. Now, it is... Oh, yeah, there's something that... Oh, my God. So there's an Elish Norn. This Elish Norn is going to hose us pretty good. And sadly, they have 2 creatures in play, so we can't just Fleshbag Marauder them. What I was just about to say is that this deck is full of creatures, and creatures are easy to answer. The graveyard's a little bit harder to answer. You need specific stuff for that, but creatures themselves die to a lot of things, like we just witnessed. But yeah, this will get interesting from here. Unfortunately, our mana ramp went away in the form of that Birds of Paradise. Opponent's going to shoot D-Manny in the face for 1. Man, turn 4, how did he get so much mana in? I see the Tribe Elder. Oh, Oracle of Modiah. Yeah, that's Oracle of Modiah crushing our face is what that is. There's a Meekstone. Ugh. Meekstone will definitely jam up Rankle. Oh, you know what's interesting? I've had this come up before. Elish Norn can act as a sack outlet to Karmic Guide. I've definitely had that happen before. The question is, how do we get enough mana to do all the things we need to do? There's a Protean Hulk. We're just a little bit short. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, this Elish Norn not really even bothering me that much anymore. Let's play this Plains. So we could get Karmic Guide. What does Karmic Guide bring back? Probably Protean Hulk. And then opponents have to deal with that, and that's just a tough thing to deal with. And if that doesn't pan out, then next turn we'd probably try to Buried Alive or something. Is there anything that can get the Animate Dead out of our graveyard? Not currently. Oops, I think we missed a land play from the graveyard. Oops. Yeah, we'll try it. Let's just cast a Karmic Guide, getting Protean Hulk. Because, like, now they can't attack us. If it dies, it's a problem for them. I guess the one thing we need to do, we need to find something that'll... We probably need to remove the Elish Norn eventually, but, you know, plenty of other players might have incentive to do that also. There's a Plea for Power. Definitely going Knowledge. Will of the Council, more votes, they get to take an extra turn, or more votes, they get to draw 3 cards. Draw 3 cards, much safer than an extra turn. It's basically just a concentrate most of the time. Probably have to be in an arch-enemy situation to get the extra turn. Even then, that's very risky. Opponent's got a Thalia on top of their deck. It's a pretty nasty card. Our opponents, by the way, who I have not introduced, Firemaker, piloting Golos Tireless Pilgrim. He's doing a Maze's End type of thing. And basically had it last game. He had a technical error in executing the combo. But for us, I think it was turn 4 or 5. He ended up taking some extra turns in the game, probably about 3 of them. So the turn count on MTGO got a little messed up. But yeah, I think it was about turn 5 or so with the Maze's End win. Very fast. In the middle, we've got D-Manny piloting his Samut deck, one we've seen a bunch on the channel. It's very strong. It's highly aggressive. It's got Hate Bears. It's got swords. It's got a lot of creatures. It puts a lot of pressure in a lot of different ways. And Samut herself, so many keywords, just a headache to deal with. So, opponent's going to send the Elish Norn over to the mono-red player. And finally, we've got Bright New Era piloting Pia Nalaar. I don't know exactly what they're up to with this one, but potentially some amount of stacks in the deck, looking at this Meekstone. Here comes a Thalia into play. This type of effect is really bad against 2 things. Red decks, where you're hoping to haste something into play, or I guess also green decks. Green gets a lot of haste now. But also fetch lands. Thalia crushes things with haste and fetch lands. Howling Golem. When it attacks or blocks, each player draws a card. Interesting. Brings back to our turn. There's a land. Let's play one of these fetch lands out of the graveyard to get a cool land. Oh, it comes in tapped. I just finished saying that. I literally just finished saying that. Thalia. I think we play Altar of Dementia, sack Protean Hulk, get a Revelark. Yeah, get a Revelark. Sacrifice the Revelark to the Altar of Dementia, and start the combo? I think that's what we're doing. We'll mill ourselves. Protean Hulk trigger. Getting Revelark. Since it's going to die immediately, we'll get a Stitcher Supplier. It comes in, it dies, we mill 3, and then it'll mill 3 as it dies. Both as it ETBs and it dies. Sacrifice Revelark. Get back Karmic Guide. Get an Acidic Slime? Seems like a plan. Karmic Guide, get back Revelark. Letting opponents know it's infinite. Acidic Slime, shoot a Guardian Project. Opponent scoops. Second opponent scoops. Mill Firemaker, sacrifice the Revelark. Karmic Guide, Acidic Slime, and they scoop. There it is, turn 6, yeah. Much better than the last game. Anyway, taking a look at the deck, he has spent a lot of time tuning this deck, so I'm not going to have a lot to say here. He is Nate is going to be much more the expert on this deck than I am. But I can't tell you how I felt during my experiences piloting the deck. I did have a little bit of mana trouble in all of the games. Had to mulligan both games. Potentially a reason to have something that sorts out your lands just a little more. Could be a land tax, could be a tithe, could be increasing the land count, maybe. And I get why you don't need a super high land count, because the mana curve is very efficient, but the early game mana was a little bit bumpy. I guess from the start in the other game, people had like basically CEDH starts in the other game. There's like Chrome Moxes and stuff coming down. And if that's the case, you probably want more Mana Dorks and Wild Growths and things like that. But that sort of comes down to the question of what decks are you facing with this thing, and are people playing decks that have Chrome Mox in them and the really explosive CEDH type Mana Rocks. If you're not, then you don't need to do that stuff. It's fine the way it is. But if you are facing those very strong decks that do have potentially really fast starts, then it's a thing to think about. Again, all the cards in this deck are so good and so efficient at what they do. It is genuinely difficult to really suggest to cut anything, because every one of these cards is tried and true in one way or another. So yeah, we were able to put the win together here pretty easily. Sack Outlet, Karmic Guide, Protean Hulk, pretty good. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon, the link below.